Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays a Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Kind of like a unsatisfying Azazel run. Might be the way that I would personally describe that last one. Just thinking, so you need boss rush. I mean, you need a lot, but like boss rush, hush, delirium. Why not? Let's do Cain. We'll do Cain with a little, a flavor. An added shot of boss rush, if possible. JZ6E L482. Anyone else feeling like a little bit more rejuvenated about Isaac? Now that Repentance has been announced? I find the most enjoyable time to play Isaac is when you know that there's new Isaac coming. Because it means that your incredibly arbitrary career can continue. But even if that isn't an incentive for you, it's also just like, you know, I want to make sure I've gotten lazy. Not in, like, my professional duties, but, like, with respect to, you know, my Isaac play to some extent. We were trying to tighten up and get a good streak going, and we really did, like, we were close. I could feel that 100 streak. It was right around the corner. We had so... it burns me up thinking about it now, but so many of those losses were like literally a terrible dice roll that was like a 1 in 100. Some of them were my own hubris. 1 in 100 might not be fair, but that's how it felt, to be fair. Anyway, but I'm happy to have a chance to go back through and remember what it's like to be in the early phases here, and you know, we've almost unlocked the full path. On average, these runs will be about a floor shorter than normal, but that's still like, we're almost there. We have Delirium access, Boss Rush access, obviously. Hush access, dude, Satanic Bible. We just unlocked it, so I'm in a fantastic mood. We're looking for bombs, so we will step on these. We have a Tinted Rock waiting for us. As of right now, this run, and it's a little cheeky to say it, but I'm not wrong. It's a win. How could it not be a win? With Satanic Bible. I'm willing to... If you look at the last 2 years of Isaac runs, has there been a run in which we held Satanic Bible and we lost? This is one of those things where you might be saying, there must be, but must there be? I mean, we played a lot of Isaac, but we haven't played like, you know, we haven't done 10,000 runs in the last 2 years. We might have done a couple of thousand. I wouldn't be surprised if we've never lost. I mean... Presumably there might be some situations, you know, a train wreck run could have it happen. A run where you have 1 HP as Eden, but also start with Satanic Bible. If things go wrong, it could hit the skids. But I think for the most part, like, as soon as you see Satanic Bible, you're pretty much good to go. Could be wrong. The most glorious way for me to be wrong would be if it was literally like the last or second last time we lost. I guess if you had Satanic Bible as the lost or as the keeper, yeah, you could lose with that. But anyway, these are theory crap. I'm asking for, like, real data. Heading down. Unfortunately, no bomb. Also, unfortunately, not going to have any chance to get an arcade. It's okay. Because, again, we got so little to complain about. We get a good deal with the devil. We're insanely off to the races. Now, that's Isaac's cruel sense of humor right there, where right after needing a bomb for an entire floor, they gave us a bomb on the floor after. Well, the room after, really, but that's fine, too. Okay. And 5 cents. There we go. Again, Isaac's cruel sense of humor. Dude, I gotta say, I want to go to bat. Sometimes I say things about regions on Earth that people consider ignorant. The thing is, I never endeavored... when most people say things about other parts of the world that are ignorant, they do so with, like, a political motivation. Most of the time, I'm like, you know, I didn't like Las Vegas or Boston. And then people are like, you know, you're ignorant. And I'm like, I know. Next time I'm there, tell me where to go. So I can change my opinion. But, for once, I'm going to go to bat, okay? I'm going to go to bat for a country. You know what country I'm going to go to bat for? England. I really thought that was a fire we could shoot, but it's just you being on fire. You may remember, maybe like 40 or 50 episodes ago, your boy started talking, and I'm your boy in this case. Hello, Papa. Eating cheeses, eating cheeses. Okay, but anyway, I started talking about getting, like, into cheese. Dude, sign me up. I've watched some YouTube videos, so I'm basically an expert. But no, now every time I go to the grocery store, I usually pick up like a weird cheese or a cheese that's weird to me. And I gotta say, it hurts the bottom line a little bit. And what I'm about to mention is probably gonna make those of you who live in England laugh. But you know, I was there. I was at the grocery store a couple of days ago. They had a Lancashire cheese and a double Gloucester. Is that how it's pronounced? And I was like, I'm gonna get both of those and experience them. And they were like $8 each. Now, I don't even know what the grammage on them is. It was roughly 1 cheese block sized. Not the kind, like the super long one your parents would get when you were a kid, but you know, like almost a cube of cheese, but half the height. So it was a little pricey, but you know, I've been eating a few English cheeses lately. I love them. England gets such a bad rap for bland cuisine. And, I mean, when I was there, again, I spent, I don't know if you know this about me, but I spent 10 days in London. So again, basically an expert. Ooh. The food was good, and I hear that the Indian food is incredible, and I have no reason to doubt it. Didn't experience any while I was there, but, you know, it still gets a bad rap when people think of English food. I think they think of, like, you know, buttered toast, soft-boiled eggs, and Alpen. But I gotta tell you, these cheeses, while not strange, you know, it's not like they've got thick veins of mold in them, or like the outside is made of like gravel, or you get the idea. You know, it's got a rind that speaks to you or something like that. They're mostly like, you know, semi-firm kind of life, baby. But I've been digging them. Really makes you think about like how arbitrary North American cheese preferences are here. I'll tell you straight up. At least, I don't know, it might be different now. But in my hometown, there were 3 cheeses. There's cheddar, there's marble, and there's, or sorry, cheddar, I took my own punchline away. Dang it. There's cheddar, there's mozzarella, both of which are, you know, kind of like pale imitations of their actual form. It's like cheddar, but the mildest cheddar you could ever imagine. Like cheese is basically, and the same with mozzarella, they were basically like just textures. It was like, do you want this texture plus saltiness on your hamburger? And you're like, hell yeah, I love cheese. You go one, and the third one is marble, which is just basically a mixture of the two. You get a little bit, you're like, oh, you're into some fancy stuff? You get some old cheddar. Wow, they don't mind cheese with a little bit of bite. I didn't realize I had a Daredevil here. Or like a Monterey Jack or something like that. So really, you know, now that I'm trying so many different cheeses, I'm like, man, why is mozzarella, which I'm not hating on, necessarily, but why is mozzarella the most important cheese in America? Or not most important, but most popular. Freudian slip. Most of the mozzarella, I mean, I've had some great mozzarella. You know, mozzarella in a, what is it called? Like a caprese salad? So good. Buffalo mozzarella, etc., etc. On a cheese, it's a perfect, or it's on a pizza. Dude, I think the sickness has reached my brain. It's the only explanation. It is a little late here, too. I got a late start working today, but it's alright. We got this Nick Fury run. Nothing could go wrong. Empress, Fool, High Priestess, Emperor. I'm gonna take High Priestess into the boss fight, crush the boss. Probably take the Emperor down to the next floor. But yeah, it just seems so arbitrary. Like, I'm eating this double Gloucester, which is probably pronounced incorrectly, but I'm complimenting your country, so please, like, allow me to. And I'm like, dude, this is better than cheddar. It's similar, but I just prefer it. Like, why is it that this cheese just does not exist outside of, like, the imported section? Whereas if you walk through the domestic cheeses, it's non-stop cheddar as far as the eye can see. Why, like, mozzarella is so popular, but, you know, Gouda is like a fringe cheese to some extent. I mean, it's a high fringe cheese, but you get the idea. Anyway, I have a feeling that I'm preaching to nobody at all right now. I'm just saying, you do you, England. You got some good cheeses there, okay? Don't let anybody get you down about your cheeses. Anybody ever says, don't you live in England? I hear the food there is really bad. You just go, hey, there's a YouTuber who's trying to learn things about cheese to some extent, and he said that English cheeses are better than he expected. Okay, maybe like put some extra flavor on it, because that didn't sound so convincing. But anyway. Yeah, we'll go AAA battery, that's fine. I'm hoping we can spin this into IV bags somehow, some way. Keep coming up with funky hits like every single day. May I get a few hearts so I can play the Demon Judgment? I cannot pronounce words today. I don't know what it is. We did just kill Chubb in a single hit, though. No deal with the devil with a 67% chance. Well, I'm going to enjoy this floor. Just a rate of fire, truly horrendous. But we might be able to kill, like, entire rooms. Yeah, sure, why not? Just by shooting once, as long as we place it appropriately. I think I also figured out why, in my head, the idea of understanding cheese is appealing to me, okay? If you're out at a restaurant, probably a $2 to $3 sign restaurant, they always come out and they go, save room for dessert. And I'm always like, oh, I couldn't handle another bite. But then, I don't know where the gender lines fall here. My wife almost always wants to get a dessert. Too full to finish the entree, but wants to get a dessert. And I don't consider that hypocritical, because, you know, I've been in the same boat. I mean, sometimes I'll finish eating dinner and be like, oh, I'm too full to finish the side. You know, I don't want any more Brussels sprouts. Then an hour later, I'm like, oh, you got potato chips, huh? Yeah, I'll have a couple. And I always sit there, I always bring out 2 spoons, and I literally have unlimited willpower for sweet stuff. So she'll order like a, you know, a gelato or a, you know, a cheesecake or something like that. And she's like, do you want some? And I'm like, literally not. And I'm just gonna roll with that feeling. But sometimes, for dessert, they'll have cheese. And I'm like, I could at least be like, yeah, and I'll have the cheese. And they'll be like, oh, he's a sophisticated individual. And then I can be like, ah, this one's a little nutty. And I'll feel like I'm actually learning something. It's like productive meals. Doesn't really make any sense, I guess, but you get the idea. It also feels like, it's like being a beer snob, which I have been in the past, but like a lot cheaper and also substantially better for you. I know cheese is not necessarily good for you, but beer is like necessarily bad for you. I mean, spiritually, it can be good for you, or crushing, but certainly like every other spectrum on which you would consider physical health, it would be a negative for sure. So the cheese is like you get the opportunity to be a beer snob, but about something that, you know, doesn't break the bank or, you know, slowly rot your body from the inside out. Don't take this as me being a teetotaler, by the way. It's not the case whatsoever. I'm just saying. It's like the same as being like, you know, like a cigarette smoker who gets really into vaping. Is vaping cool? I don't know. I don't really care anymore. But I think it's, if you're using it as a way to not smoke, then more power to you. If it's an outlet for you to pursue the same kind of interest, but in a less destructive way, have at it, my friend. I have done the bit many times. I still, and Rumble, I don't know if you're watching this, I'm not talking about you specifically, okay? So we were hanging out with friend of the channel and friend in real life, Rumble Muffin. He does vape, and his vape is like lemon cake flavored. You do you, buddy. It's your life. I'm being sincere. I'm happy, you're happy. But I will say, and he was on Blowing Clouds. I will say, I just wish they cool it on the, you know, the smells that are like, you know, it's a 9-year-old's birthday party. Potato peeler. How interesting. I don't think we've ever had it before on this save file, so that's part of the reason I picked it up. But I don't think I want to use it, because we can do better for ourselves just by taking, just by keeping our HP high enough to use Rage, I think. That's how I feel about it, at least. So yeah, I think that's it. That's cheese for me. I also feel like I'm just trying out like a bunch of old man habits, trying to figure out which one's gonna stick, you know? Oh, let's go to the boss trap room. We're gonna be a little tight for time, but we're also like very, very strong, so I'm not too worried. And we should be able to do boss rush, especially with a world card. My dad has some old man hobbies. He's not necessarily even that old. He's in his early 50s, but you know, he has some old man hobbies. What did he throw himself into? Baking bread. He's also he does like some carpentry and like home improvement stuff, but for him, he's like really passionate about baking bread, and I don't get it at all. I go home and he's like, "Do you want to bake bread with me?" And I'm like, "No, I'll hang out, but like I don't want to bake the bread." And he's always like, "Check it out! I bought this new thing to bake bread with," and I'm like, "That's cool. I will never buy one of those." And everybody who bakes, they're always, if they bake their own bread, and yeah, I'm talking about mouth. So what? They're always telling you how easy it is to bake your own bread. They're always like, oh, it's very simple. It's a 30-minute recipe. Yeah, it's a 30-minute recipe. You gotta buy a bunch of special ingredients, and then, you know, you gotta be in the house all day in order to make sure the bread turns out. That's not necessarily true. Because like, it's kind of like, you know, there's like no-knead bread that turns out okay, and then there's like, you know, 10-minute knead that turns out okay. But still, you know, first off, I'm trying not to eat so much bread to begin with. I already got the cheese thing going on. Secondarily, when I buy bread right now, it's like 1-minute bread. I go to the grocery store and I go, hey, that bread looks pretty good. And then I pick it up and I buy it. Bread is also like, I don't want to say insanely cheap, but like one of the products at the grocery store where you get the highest amount of value. You're like, oh, $1.50 for 12 slices of bread. That's a pretty good deal. Take it from a guy that just spent 16 bucks on 2 cheeses. So I'm just trying out a bunch of old man hobbies and seeing what's gonna stick. I should learn a handy one, you know? Truth be told, I'm specking way too much into hipster snobdom. I don't need to add cheese snobbery on top of that. Should really focus on, like, you know, learning how to change my oil or something instead. But where's the fun in that? See, the thing is, when you're learning about cheese, you get to eat cheeses, and it's delicious. And if you're learning to change your oil, you're just hanging out with a stinky old car. That doesn't sound like fun. Unless it, you know, it does. In which case, more power to you. You know, everybody's into something different. This run is so primed for a money equals power. Like, I'm ready for it. I would also love, like, IV bag bloody penny, but may or may not happen. Just trying to set ourselves to be, like, 1959, we kill mom. Fire rate up would also be insanely valuable. Incubus would be insanely valuable. Sure, I'll take the virus. We can afford the speed down. And if we get some invincibility, even in the form of like IV bag, we might be able to snag some demon hearts that we don't really deserve. Oh, I gotta sneeze. I knew it would happen. Need like a catchphrase after a sneeze, and I'd be like, and that's what I'm talking about there. That way when you sneeze, instead of people saying bless you, they say, and that's what I'm talking about right there. And it's like we got some group participation, you know? Maybe that's the worst idea I've ever had. That's fair. That's a fair assessment of events, yeah. Okay. Hey, Little Gish has appeared in the basement after appearing in my run. No, thank you. These are bad. I would rather give the HP to Tyrone in person than give it through the game for Sister Maggie or Ghost Baby. Those are insulting items. So this floor is all about getting prepped for boss rush. I mean, we really should... And this, I didn't go to the shop on the last floor because I was trying to speed up here, but we'll see how things look on this floor. We might want to go to the shop and at least, like, buy some red hearts. Hopefully we get an arcade, though, and we could just get maybe... I would take a blood bag just fine, but IV bag would be more useful, probably. A little embarrassing damage there. Well, we are going to get Bookworm. Not all books are created equal. I mean, on the one hand, you've got the Da Vinci Code, and then on the other hand, you got 50 Shades of Grey. And then I sit here and I wait as you puzzle out which one of those you think I like and which one of those You think I hate when the reality of the situation is I can't read. Okay, HP please, HP full health, okay. We'll come back. If we have a chance, we'll come back. Hello.
Hello.
I have both cats. And if you want them back, you need to give me $100 million. I agree. You're not going to respond to the ransom note? I said I have both cats, and if you want them back, you need to pay me $100 million. You know what? That's my girl. Fiscally responsible. That's. I love these cats, but like, we don't have $100 million. I don't even know how it. That's an exorbitant amount of money to come up with. Toma. How did he get out? I had him in his box.
I got him now.
Well,
I got him for free.
You know what? Fair trade. I got one of the cats for $50 million. Oh no. He's waking up. He just yawned. You know, I think I made Ruka sick.
Uh-oh.
He's sneezing like crazy.
Well, you two are sneezing like crazy.
I know. We're two sneezy boys. I don't know why Tomo's like, he's immune. Yeah, I guess he is a strong boy. Stronger than I am. Not like it's hard. Okay. Hold on. I never should have done that boss trap room. I think we screwed ourselves, by which I mean I screwed myself. Please let me go. Our speed is high enough. We might be able to make it, but realistically, it's going to be very tough for us to kill Mom in the time span needed here. We're going to try anyway, because, I mean, it's kind of like the only one of two things that would, like, make progress on this run, but it's also not like if we don't do it, the run is going to fail. Like, the run is actually in an amazing spot. I think we might have a chance. I think we should try for it anyway. I'm actually going to step on this, like, 2 times. Just to raise my own damage. I know that seems brain dead, but I'm like, I think it might help. The death card helps a little. So I don't know, that might be the most galaxy brain move I've ever done in my entire life. I don't think we've had yo listen, I should say. To deliberately hurt yourself at a cost of like 5 seconds. To then go faster on the Mom fight so you could get the boss rush. I don't know. It might not have made a difference. Or, alternatively, and this is the headcanon I'm going to roll with. Ruka. It might have been the smartest move in Isaac history. One of the two. When a cat sneezes, it's like... First off, it's cute. Secondly, it's very disgusting because they don't know, like, the etiquette. They don't realize you should cover your... Well, they need to do, like, a dab. I can't remember if I talked about it on this or on the NLSS, but I got a bone to pick with the new methodology for sneezing. When I was a kid, you sneezed in your hands. You went to the bathroom. And then you washed your hands. I recognize you're touching door handles along the way, okay? It's not a perfect system. Now, you're trained, or they're trained is maybe, it's a word you reserve for like military behavior, but you're incentivized or taught to, you sneeze into like the crook of your elbow, so then you have clean hands when you go to the bathroom. But what am I supposed to do with my snotty sweater? Pull this thread as I walk away? So I've done it. I mean, it's led to some situations. I wouldn't describe them as embarrassing, but like, you know, you sneeze and some mucus comes out, and then you got mucus all over your shirt, and then you got to be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and like, I don't know, wash my shirt in the sink. Maybe it's a better system. I can't say yes or no. All I will say is that, oh, 1 second. A little itchy nose. What it has led to me doing, and this is probably the thing I'm most ashamed of in my entire life, is now if I'm outside, if there's like open space around me, I would never sneeze on another human being intentionally. That's like incredibly ignorant. But if there's nobody, like, close to me, I sneeze and I hold my hand up, or, like, my elbow up, as if I'm gonna sneeze into the crook of my elbow, and then I just sneeze on the sidewalk. It's a great trick of the light. Now, I don't think this is, that was very bad there. I don't think for public health this is very good, but at the same time, I don't want to be walking around with a snotty sweater all day. I also feel like that's probably not good for public health, is to be walking around with like an open petri dish of germs. I'm just saying we need a better system. A handkerchief is a good one. That's one of the few things, like when people, for whatever reason, young men who think they're smart, who identify as intellectuals, they harken back a lot of the time with their style of dress and their cultural practices to an earlier time. You know, they wear fedoras like it's the 1930s, and they go, oh, swag is for boys, class is for men, and they smoke a pipe even though they're 17 years old, and it's like, it's just very strange to me. Hold on, what do we got here? Deal with the Devil's still open, too. So sometimes, yeah, let's grab this. Sometimes they'll have like a stopwatch, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing with a stopwatch? If it has a connection, like it's, oh, my grandfather's watch or something like that, that's cool. But like if you're taking it, someone's like, oh, what time is it? And you're like, let me consult my pocket watch. And you're like, did I say stopwatch 20 times? What I mean is pocket watch. You're like, dude, what are you doing? You have a smartphone. Yes, but it's not as reliable. What do you mean it's not as reliable? It's pinging the nuclear, like, atomic clock servers 45 times a second. Yes, but this gives me an air of class without ever actually having to earn it with my behavior. Anyway, but the one thing we should bring back is handkerchiefs. Having, like, a reusable cloth that you could sneeze into. It seems very shrewd to me, honestly. I know there's countries on Earth that still do it. Like in Japan, they still carry handkerchiefs. Not all of their public bathrooms have soap, so, you know, it's like they haven't got it all figured out. But the handkerchief thing, I think, mostly works. I don't want to be the first one to start carrying it, though. Like, you guys got to meet me halfway. Because, I mean, if I sneeze and then I pull, like, a satin purple handkerchief out of my $35 jeans, people are gonna look at me like I'm a weirdo. Which is fair. But still. We shouldn't double down too much here, because we do want to... I mean, Monster's Lung is a really good item to fight Hush with, but... Okay. We still want to have the HP to fight Hush to begin with. Dude, I was really hoping that was going to be a blood bank, but... Oh, wow. Battery charges dropping like flies, but in like a good way, like the way that flies drop things if they tried to carry them, because they're very heavy. Oh, thank you, Dark Bomb. Here, we'll play Keep Away. Oh, almost had it there. Oh, he got it. Look, you gotta come up with ways to keep yourself entertained. This is the 45th time I've played Isaac in like the past 2 weeks, probably. Just let me live my life, okay? The thing is, carrying around a pocket watch, again, devoid of sentimental value, is dumb, in my opinion, because it's suboptimal. We've invented better clocks. Instead of having to carry around a clock on a gold chain, you have a computer in your pocket that will tell you the time instantly. Sometimes you don't even have to push a button. Sometimes you just look at it. And it's like, it recognizes. It's like, oh, hey, that's my owner. He probably wants to know what time it is. That's amazing. But I don't think the snot problem has been solved. If we had like a snot dampener installed in our sinuses where when you sneezed it was just like, you know, clean lemon pound cake scented air, that would be amazing. And I'd be like, don't carry around a handkerchief. But I don't know why the handkerchief fell out of favor. It's the one I do not understand. I will say, I'm gonna go to bat for the fedora wearers, okay? And I know you've all been pushed underground at this point. You can't wear a fedora anymore because everybody knows that it's like the first sign of like... If you're out there and you're wearing a fedora, help yourself by taking it off. Now, what I'm about to say, if you're going to be principled about it and be like, why should I take it off? I know. I kind of think it's just a hat. But it's what the hat has come to represent because of the ideals of the cultural mores of the people who have worn it. As like a shorthand for class. But, you know, I wear a baseball hat when I'm outside. I don't play baseball. Sometimes it's not even sunny. Why do I wear it? Temperature control on the dome. And to be honest with you, sometimes if it's been like a week since I shaved my head, I don't really want to rock the George Costanza horseshoe. Hat on, 29-year-old man. Hat off, 29-year-old man who looks 40. You know? If they come for the baseball hats at some point, I'm going to be in the same boat. For whatever reason, that hat is culturally acceptable. I don't know if it's because it's America's pastime or what, but in the end, it's just kind of like it's a arbitrary stylistic choice. But again, if you have this discussion in public, you're a total fedora wearer. I'm just looking out for you, dude. It's the same way, like, you know, just make life easier on yourself. Don't be the guy who has to have the conversation of like, well, actually, it's a trilby. Just wear your fedora at home. That's okay. There's like a few, and I've been there, okay? Like, this is coming from a place of like mutual cringe. There's a couple of things you can do if you're like a 13 to 17-year-old guy, make your life easier. Don't be mad at the people who dance to pop music in a hip-hop style and then try to do like ballroom or swing dance at a school dance. You might be able to find one or two people to do it with you. It's not worth the comments, I assure you. When you get older, find a club or something, you could do it. I'm not trying to suppress you, I'm just trying to, like, for your own ability to make your life easier as a young man in the world today. Here, we're gonna fight Hush real quick. It's the easiest thing you could do to help yourself out. That being said, I had friends in, let's check this. Ugh. I had friends in, high school. Wow. Dude, let's try this. I'll take number 1 now. Range is horrible, but you know these shots are gonna bang. That were openly extremely dorky. And to the point that even I, as a dork, was like, yo, shut your mouth. I remember, like, they drove, we were working on, like, an English project together. And, so it was a movie, because it's English class. Makes perfect sense. And, they drove me to the set, which was, like, my mom's office after hours. We were working on the movie, but when we drove there, they turned on the 2005 soundtrack to the film Rent, you know, based on the play, which is based on the fiduciary concept. And then they all just went in unison, but also, like, with the right parts. Like, 529,600 minutes. And the next 45 minutes of my life was just like, they didn't ask. Like, and I'm not saying I would have said no, but they didn't go like, hey, do you like Rent? They literally just got in the car, and as if, like, nothing, it was the most normal thing in the world. They're like, the seasons of love. Like, they had harmony parts and people that would do, like, the speaking parts in, like, Would You Light My Candle and stuff like that. And I was like, this is hell. But they found each other by being open about their incredible and embarrassing nerdiness for theater. They found each other. So maybe don't listen to me. Maybe, you know, put it all on display. Why not? I was more offended. Like, it wasn't like I was like, theater. I was more like, the 2005 version of Rent is rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Why are you guys debasing yourselves? You could at least sing something from, like, you know, Rodgers and Hammerstein. Also, ask. That's all I'm saying. You could probably take it too far, but There's always going to be one guy in the comments. NL's saying suppress your true identity. Nice. It's not like that. Okay? I'm just looking out for my kindred spirits. Just don't buy the Trilby. You don't have... No 16-year-old looks good in the Trilby. I apologize if you're wearing one right now while you're listening to this. Nobody looks good in it. If the only people who look good in Trilbies were born when Trilbies were made. If I see an 80-year-old dude in like a suit and a nice old school hat, I'm like, you know, he's earned it. You see a 16-year-old, you're like, dude, you can't wear it. It's not like you have to earn the right to wear it. It's just like you're co-opting a cultural identity for a period you didn't exist in for reasons that don't make any sense. So we did beat Hush. I mean, we just gotta shoot him one more time. And this is great. We knocked it out. We get the D12. We're not gonna fight Delirium. This run, believe it or not, is not quite Delirium worthy. We have beaten Shoal, so we're gonna go Cathedral. Most of the time I would have thought we would go Shoal because we do Cathedral automatically. But this is okay. And as always, like, whenever I give you advice, it's just my own 2 cents. Feel free to do whatever you want. Just take it from a man who's worn some regrettable hats. Just like, had friends in high school. Nice dancing. Would anyone care to do the rumba with me? And you're like, what kind of 9th grader knows the rumba, you weirdo? My mom put me in ballroom dancing classes so I could become a gentleman and meet more ladies. You're like, what year is it? 1850? She should have put you in those Fortnite dancing classes. You'd be swimming in it. Swimming in what? Loot Lake. What did you think I meant? This is an easy win. Easy win, easy life, easy life. Lots of smiles, happy people, easy wins. Cycle doesn't really seem to loop around and work, but like, I subscribe to like the school of thought where if you say things quickly, it makes people more likely to believe you because they're like, man, he came up with that really quick. It must be true. Like, you could be the smartest person in the world, but if you go, well, the black body radiation that is accumulating in the Crab Nebula, people would be like, you're a nerd. You don't know what you're talking about. Get off the stage. Some idiot would get up there and be like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably as a result of the laser beams coming out of the tachyon. But even if it was nonsense, they would be like, this guy's got a good head on his shoulders. The coin bag has appeared in the basement, and we unlock challenge number 24, and the Polaroid, and challenge number 27, and challenge number 35. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But thanks for watching. I will see you next time. See ya.